at 1. Federal government deploys supervisory control and data acquisition to tackle national grid collapse. AMAC chairman lays foundation for construction of Paduma Community Market. And on the global scene, Israeli man arrested over alleged Iranian-backed assassination plot. Glad to have you join us on the news at 1 p.m. on Nta Channel 5 Abuja. I am Mariam Abubakar Kana. There is end in sight to persistent and recurring cases of grid collapse, which often result to nationwide power outage, as federal government is deploying new technology, otherwise known as supervisory control and data acquisition SCADA system, to stabilize the grid. Joshua Ojito reports that Minister of Power Adebayo Adelabo led industry players in the sector to witness testing of the technology at the new National Control Center, Gwagwalada, Abuja.
Nigeria over the years witnessed increased cases of grid disturbance and collapse, which industry players attribute to absence of supervisory control and data acquisition SCADA system, among others, to provide operators with real-time data for monitoring and control of power distribution effectively. After several attempts since 1978 to provide SCADA system, federal government, with the support of World Bank in 2022, awarded contract for the design, manufacturing and installation of SCADA system, with the project nearing completion. The project also construction of new National Control Center in Gwagwalada and upgrade of National Control Center Oshogbo.
With the progress recorded so far, the project is set to change the landscape of system operation in the NESI by ensuring operational efficiency using state-of-the-art modern equipment to monitor and control the grid, global visibility of the transmission network, thereby empowering the operator with the tools to make informed decisions, resulting in improved.
We are laying the groundwork for a more resilient and responsive power sector.
Expected to be delivered in 2025, the SCADA system project is at 90% completion, and the facility inspection is to test run the system ahead of its inauguration. When completed, the SCADA system will enhance grid stability and minimize grid collapse. Joshua Ojito, NTA News.
Served on September 18 every year to promote equal pay for work of equal value. This is in line with United Nations commitment to human rights and against all forms of discrimination, including discrimination against women and children. Ramatu Abdullahi examines the significance of the day.
Apart from gender pay gap, estimated at around 20% globally, where women are said to be paid less than men according to United Nations report, other forms of pay disparities abound, occasioned by many factors. In Nigeria, for instance, there is the BSc HND dichotomy, where degree holders are preferred over HND holders, casualization of workers, where permanent staff are paid higher than casual workers. Some public organizations pay higher to their staff, whereas people of same qualifications are paid less in other organizations. These, experts say, have attendant consequences on service delivery.
This has very serious implications. First, the workers are all aware that some are receiving more. It leads to, naturally, to low morale for workers who are in very low-paying organizations, whether private or public.
In line with the objectives of the International Equal Pay Day, law therefore urges that harmonization of salary structures will provide a robust public service that is happy, well-motivated, fulfilled, and ready to provide personal sacrifice to enhance service delivery.
To harmonize so that the disparity will be removed, erased completely. Because once you do so, where you work will no longer matter. But where, certain public government organizations are paying, different salary scales than those who are in some other, decent federal government, decent state governments, there is something fundamentally wrong about that. If people should be graduated, calibrated in terms of their qualifications, qualifications particularly, is it a professional certificate you are holding or is it a general certificate, so that your qualification will determine your placement, and your salary, of course, and not where you work.
Equal pay for work of equal value is indeed important for efficient workforce. Ramatu Abdullahi, NTA News.
The Federal Capital Development Authority, FCDA, has carried out demolition in the Paduma community, Guzape district of Abuja, as part of its city sanitation exercise and clearing of criminal hideouts in the area. Serafina Okonumekwe has details of this report.
Most people could not carry anything, and after the place has been broken down, the babambolas, the scrap men, they came throwing stones, throwing bottles, fighting everybody, and they ensured that they took everybody's property away.
My father is a retired police officer. He retired as a DTO at Duse Division. Fine. With the gratuity he was paid, the little he was paid, this is what he managed to build this house.
They come mark one house for the other side. So as they mark the house now, all our hope is maybe if they mark, they will go back. They will come back to give us a notice. So yesterday now they just pass here, go up, come back. Say more will start with the park our kaya. Since that yesterday, as I tell them, this girl never eat anything. Mikuma never eat anything. Nowhere to stay. Now outside to sleep till this morning.
Indigene and non-indigenes of FCT in Paduma community in Gusape district of Abuja, affected by the bulldozers and caterpillars of the development control. As they continue to count their losses and salvage few of their personal belongings, they are appealing to the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, and Development Control for compensation.
It's almost 21 years. I've been living here. My house has been demolished to the ground level. I was not able to do away with even single zinc out of the house. So as it is now, my wife, she is pregnant, you can see, of which she is even booked for CS next month. Now we are rendered homeless, I don't know, okay, but my concern, even if the government are saying we should leave the area, they will have given us a prior notice. I was able to get it from the indigenes of the land because I believe that there are people that owns the land, which are the baggies, okay, and that was how I was able to acquire. I went to their heads and they were able to give me a piece of land and I paid for it.
NTA, however, reached out to the Director of Development Control through telephone conversation.
Yes, in Gilmo, in fact, Gilmo, they are working there right now. First of all, what you call river training, and then also provision of underground facilities like sewer line and stormwater channel.
Okay. Is there any plan for compensation of these people?
No, the people that were removed, they are mostly these temporary building materials dealers.
But some homes were affected.
Where somebody, you pay compensation where somebody owns a property with approved plan. Then you give him compensation.
Chief of Paduma community lamented the spate of demolitions and denials of ancestral lands, expressing concern that the Gbagi nation and language may face the threat of going into extinction if the trend is not checked.
We are human beings and we are indigene. I'm the chief. If they want to do something for this community, they have to take permission for us. We'll sit down, we dialogue. They bring armed, mobile, police, all. They are marking their demolition. No good notice, nothing. And they affect the whole indigene. It's cheaters. Total cheaters.
I want to speak or talk to the government. They should find a lasting solution for the indigene so that peace will reign. If not, if we continue like this, I think it will not result fine.
Oh, don't compensate us. Oh, if don't go build the house again for us. make them build am again because we no know where we go. We don't know.
We are told that more than 200 homes were demolished, and this is because the government says this is a green area and they intend to put a central seaway around here. But the people are appealing to the government to come to their aid as they have lost all sorts of livelihood, and even a place to lay their head seem not to be a realistic task even in the nearest days to come. In Gusape, Serafina Okon Omekwe, Nta News.
Instituting avenues relevant to economic growth, development and sustenance is key to societal development. Chairman Abuja Municipal Area Council, Christopher Zakame Kalangu, at the foundation laying of the Paduma Community Market, assured residents of the council that he would accomplish this in the course of his tenure. Cecilia Julius was there and brings us the report.
Flagging out the event, the Abuja Municipal Area Council Chairman, Christopher Zakame Kalangu, reassured residents that his administration will transform the community into a business hub, which will attract both local and international business opportunities.
Instead of people taking their car vehicle down to Area 1 or Use Market or Gariki Market, it will be easier for them here to get all their house item in this market. So this market will help a lot. So I have flagged off this market to benefit the residents around Kuruma Aziz. It has not been working because we have not given it full attention the way I am today. But as I'm here today myself, I'm encouraging them and I'm going to put more infrastructure in this market. I'm giving them street lights, I'm giving them so many things so that the market will pick on.
God has made us to achieve where we are today, and I'm happy for that. The Honorable Chairman has been so magnanimous to us by approving this place and promising to give us the muscle we need to develop this market to a standard that will beat other markets around Abuja.
We've gone around the markets trying to see how the local emergency management agency can put all emergency measures in place to avoid any fire disaster.
He used the occasion to call on producers and consumers to take advantage of the Paduma Community Market as an open door for innovations of small and medium entrepreneurs. In Abuja, Celia Julius, NTA News.
You are watching the news at 1 p.m. on Nta Channel 5 Abuja. Still to come on the news. Health experts highlight the importance of early detection of prostate cancer as crucial for effective treatment. This and more in just a moment.
On the news.
On the news at 7.
Jama'a
barkanmu da wannan
The latest station Nta Channel 5 Abuja would say have a lovely day.
Thanks for staying tuned. Thoughts of suicide should not be ignored, but should be talked about for someone out there cares. This is a submission of Rotary 9127 at a flag of project at the Government Secondary School Gariki with the theme, Changing the Narrative on Suicide even as the world marks Suicide Day. Rosemary Mortalin tells us more.
It is commonly said that suicide is never an option. In recent times, suicide has been on the increase. This gathering says the best is not to take life, but to seek help and also reach out to people. Rotary District 9125 and other speakers are on a mission to end suicide, with a choice of reaching out to students of Government Secondary School Gariki. They say the choice of the school is not a mistake, but a way to catch them young. The governor, District 9127, Rotorian Nnoka Mbanufu, while advising the students on the sad trend, said taking life is not the solution.
By starting with these young ones, we want to catch them young. By the time you talk about the young ones, let them know that this suicide is not a solution. As they grow up, they'll become better members of the society. And you will see them committing suicide because they already know from the young age that suicide is not a solution.
Know their problems, interact with them. The role of parenting is not for the woman alone, it's for both. When both are together and they try to talk about their homes, how the homes should grow, there's no way we can be having issues of a child committing suicide.
The talks described as the voice of wisdom from elders was well received by the students who understood and agreed to take the message back home.
No one is eligible to take his or her life, and if anything, you should always create awareness among people, and again you should always seek out signs.
I learned that I shouldn't take my life because of depression or stress or because of bullying what other people are doing to me, because the life that I have is not me that have it, is God. And again, if I think that no one cares about me, I should always remember that there's someone that cares about me. I should not allow anything anybody to say to affect me. I should always be happy.
Rotary Club District 1925 says it will intensify education on the evils of suicide and sustain efforts to discourage all and sundry from such acts. Rosemary Mortalem Bilal, NTA News.
Prostate cancer has become a pressing health concern affecting men across Nigeria. This silent threat demands attention and awareness as experts maintain that, like other cancers, early detection through regular screenings is crucial for effective treatment. Hakimat Aliu in the special report tells us more about the scourge of prostate cancer.
Prostate cancer, according to experts, is the most common and most deadly cancer for men in Nigeria, with a statistic of about 32.8 cases and 16.3 deaths per 100,000 men.
I don't actually know too much about prostate cancer.
I'm not too familiar because I've not really had someone that had prostate cancer.
Consultant urologist at the Federal Medical Center, Jabi, Dr. Bioku says prostate cancer has no direct known cause but is peculiar to men of the black race.
Malignancy of the prostate. The prostate is a male sexual organ that is located at the neck of the bladder. So it's very essential for men in terms of fertility. So as the men age, the prostate increases in size. So, following that increase in size, some of them will come out to be malignant because of several factors. But the cause is largely unknown. So it's also increases with age. As we advance in age, the possibility of having prostate cancer is also there. So the hormone factor too, testosterone, is a key.
Frequent urination, difficulty starting or stopping urine flow, and blood in the urine are warning signs that should not be ignored, as prostate cancer is treatable when detected early through regular screenings.
There is a possibility of cure if you detect any cancer early. So prostate cancer is not an exception to that. But the treatment of prostate cancer, let me mention, is we usually adopt multidisciplinary approach. So it involves not only the urologist, the oncologist, the radiologist, who is going to do ultrasound, pelvic MRI for staging, and so the bone scan. Then a pathologist who is going to look at the specimen of the sample that is submitted to them. Then the social welfare workers and also the psychologists, because the treatment likely depends on the stage of the disease. So if the prostate cancer is diagnosed, the first thing is to stage it. So whether it is limited to the prostate itself or it has spread.
While adopting a healthy lifestyle helps to reduce the risk of prostate cancer, Regular checkups and awareness remains most important tips to break the silence surrounding prostate cancer. Besides creating awareness on prostate cancer, experts emphasize the need for government and all stakeholders to prioritize men's health through affordable health packages. In Abuja, Hakimat Ali, NTA News.
For updates of happenings around the foreign scene, let's join Sandra Akeme with The Globe this week.
Many thanks, Maria. This is a foreign news segment that keeps you up to date with happenings around the globe. I am Sandra Akemi. 2 people were shot dead during a police operation overnight in the French territory of New Caledonia, where unrest began in May between indigenous Kanaks and of people who have died since the start of the crisis that was sparked by a controversial voting reform that was suspended in June. President Emmanuel Macron suspended the controversial reform plan, but violence has continued sporadically. And now, Russia's campaign of airstrikes on Ukrainians' energy grid probably violates international humanitarian law, a UN monitoring body said on Thursday, as Ukrainians prepare for the toughest winter since Russia's invasion. Over the course of its invasion, Russia has fired hundreds of missiles and drones. And finally, Israeli security services said on Thursday they had arrested an Israeli security services said on Thursday they had arrested an Israeli citizen on suspicion of involvement in an Iranian-backed assassination plot targeting prominent people, including the Prime Minister. It says the person was a businessman with connection in Turkey who had attended at least 2 meetings in Iran to discuss the possibility of assassinating Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Many thanks for staying with us on this segment. Mariam, it's back to you for the continuation of the news. I am Sandra Akemi.
Up next is Sports Brief.
Even with the 4 points garnered by the Super Eagles of Nigeria in the last 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualifier, Nigeria remains stagnant in the 39th position in the latest FIFA ranking released this Thursday and 6th in Africa behind Morocco, Senegal, Egypt, Cote d'Ivoire and Tunisia. The 3-time African champions defeated the cheaters of Benin Republic 3-0 and played a goalless draw away to the Amavubi of Rwanda in the last international outings. Still talking football, Nigeria and MPFL champions Enugu Rangers have departed Nigeria for Luanda, Angola for the second leg final preliminary CAF Champions League playoff against Sagrada Esperança FC of Angola on Sunday. The team expressed optimism that the 8-time Nigerian champions, who won the first leg with a slim 1-0 margin in Uyo last weekend, will do better to advance. Meanwhile, as the curtain closes in the 8th edition of the National Youth Games in Asaba Delta State this Thursday, Team FCT have so far won 9 gold, 5 silver and 11 bronze medals, placing them among the first 10 teams. Host and Delta State, as at the last check on the table, were still leading with the likelihood of them emerging champions again. With Sports Brief, Abdullahi Ajia, NTA News.
Sports Brief concludes the news this afternoon, but just before we go, a quick highlight of our major stories. There is end in sight to persistent and reoccurring cases of grid collapse, which often result to nationwide power outage as federal government is deploying new technology, otherwise known as supervisory control and data acquisition, to stabilize national grid. And Chairman Abuja Municipal Area Council Christopher Zakamai Kalangu has performed foundation laying of the Paduma Community Market and assured residents of the council that he would accomplish this in the course of his tenure. Many thanks for watching the news at 1 p.m. on Nta Channel 5 Abuja. Do join us at 7 p.m. for more news updates. Good afternoon.